Let us today talk about capillary and deformable interfaces. Suppose we have an interface between two medium. Let us say this is medium 1, that may be an atmosphere or any liquid. Basically, it is a fluid medium, fluid, and this is also a fluid. And but this is medium 2, some other fluid. So this interface, it has many interesting properties. Let us look at the interface between a fluid and air. Fluid and air. The fluid, the most common fluid is water. So, so we can think of the fluid as water for now for this particular discussion. Now, suppose we have this interface, and this is water, and above it is air. Now, water consists of molecules. This is a water molecule. This is another water molecule. Let's say this is another molecule. At the interface, there will be a certain number of molecules. They're distributed somehow, and other molecules, they're deep inside the bulk of the fluid. If you consider a molecule that is deep inside the water, it will experience forces that are uniform on all its direction. These molecules, they will experience no net force. So basically, the unbalanced force on this molecule is zero, and this molecule can happily roam around inside the bulk. Inside the bulk. So we can say that this is a happy molecule because there is no unbalanced forces on it. But if you look at this particular molecule, now it will be pulled by this molecule, and somewhere around there is some another molecule, it will be pulled by this molecule. There are water molecules down below, it will be pulled by this, it will be pulled by this, but there are no forces balancing uh, in this direction. So these are not there. So these forces are not there. So what will happen is that, so this is in a very unstable kind of situation. So this is an unhappy molecule. So it somehow tries to balance the unbalanced forces. So the way around to bring about this balance is to increase these forces as compared to the force that is uh, as compared to the force that with which it is pulling the bulk molecules. So what happens is that the surface molecules, they try to pull each other more strongly as compared to the force with which they pull the bulk molecules. So that is why the interface, the this interface, it is like a stretched membrane. So there is a force which is responsible for this stretched membrane. That force, as we discussed, the origin of that force is this unhappy molecule trying to be trying to balance the unbalanced forces, and that imbalance that comes about because of the heterogeneity in this environment. It says air on one side and water on other side. So this heterogeneity or this inhomogeneous environment, this molecules is that brings about an imbalance in the forces, and to bring about the balance in that force, this surface tries to get stretched. Now let us see, let us see what happens in this area when a molecule comes from the bulk to the interface. Now consider this is an interface, and one molecule is trying to come from here, then it reaches here, and then it comes to the interface. Now here there are no net imbalanced forces, no net imbalanced forces, so it is very happy. But once it comes here, there are less water molecules in this region, so it will face less pull, but it will be pulled by a large force here. So there is this inhomogeneity. Now this molecule can see the inhomogeneity, and here it is completely inhomogeneous. So what happens is that when this molecule goes from the bulk to the interface, so it has to do some work against this inhomogeneous force, and that work requires energy. So therefore, making of an interface is costly in terms of energy. So surface costs energy. Now we define the energy required per unit surface area of the interface. This we call surface tension, which is denoted by gamma. And gamma, or the surface tension, it is defined for a pair of liquid that forms an interface. Liquid, or it may be two fluid that forms an interface. Now we have the definition that surface tension is the energy required per unit surface area. Let us look at another interpretation of the surface tension. Suppose, let us consider a square interface, and we're looking at from the top view. So the medium 1 is out of the screen and medium 2 is inside the screen. And on the screen here, what I have drawn is the interface. Let us say that this is a square interface, and this is side L and L. So the area is, let's say, let us denote it by AI. The area is L square. Now what we do is we try to pull it this way. We pull it this way. So we are pulling it along this direction. Let us say this is X direction and this is Y. So what we are doing is we pulled it along X, and as a result, what happened is that it just increased its length along the X direction, and now it is it has a length L plus, let's say, delta X. So the increase in this length is delta X, and this is L. So the final area, it became L plus delta X. Now what we have is, since we pulled it here, like, we also provided the energy to stretch this membrane. So how much energy it was initially? So initially the energy of the surface is gamma times L square, and now the energy, it became gamma times L into L plus delta X. So this is nothing but gamma L square plus gamma L delta X. Now what we have is, let us see what is the change in energy. So this extra energy, the extra energy, let's say delta U, UF minus UI, this extra energy is given by the force which is actually stretching the membrane. So this is nothing but this is gamma L square plus gamma L delta X minus gamma L square. So I'm just using this formula. So this gamma L square will cancel this gamma L square, and what we are left with is gamma L delta X. This is nothing but delta U by delta X is equal to gamma L. But we know that the force F is given by minus du by dx, which is nothing but minus limit delta x goes to 0, delta u by delta x is equal to minus gamma L. This minus sign, what does it imply? This implies that the membrane or the interface, it resists the change in area, or it resists the increase in area, resists increase of, basically it is resist it increase the resist the increase of delta x, which implies that it resists increase of area. And this is intuitively true because, like, if we try to increase area, we'll need more energy, and that is what we don't want to do. Like, we don't want to spend more energy. So from this expression, what we get is F by L is equal to minus gamma. So this is the surface tension. So surface tension can now be interpreted as force per unit length. Now imagine, now you can, so we take the lesson from this, that surface tension is force per unit length. Now you can take any, suppose this is some arbitrary interface, and interface between two media. Again, medium 1 is outside the page, outside the screen, and medium 2 is inside the screen. Now if you take some imaginary line, then this, so there is a force per unit length. So this particular line is stretched by the force F, and this F is given by gamma times L, gamma times L. So the force per unit length with which this is getting stretched is gamma. So it is getting stretched. So if one tries to, suppose it is, someone tries to pull it this way, it will try to restore it this way. So basically it is getting stretched with force per unit length S minus gamma. So we got two interpretations for surface tension. One, it is energy per unit surface area, energy per unit surface area, and the other thing is force per unit length. One can also verify that these two have same dimensions. So yeah, let's meet in another video. Thank you.